Nairobi.
We say Paula to the grieving families, even as calls for accountability continue to rent the air. Moving on, 3 days after Friday's floods, Nairobi residents are still draining water from their homes and wading through submerged estates. Yet the hardest hit areas are those built on riparian land. Tonight, we ask if Kenya's riparian land law is clear that no construction should be done within 30 meters of rivers, streams, or wetlands, why the Nairobi estates continue to mushroom along riverbanks, narrowing waterways and choking natural drainage. Has the government turned a blind eye to this law? KTN's Vera Mora went on a spot check and filed the following report.
Nairobi is literally a city in water. In estates across the capital, the hum of water pumps has become the soundtrack of survival. Families are draining their homes bucket by bucket. Others dig makeshift channels to guide the stubborn poles into existing drainages. Temporary streams born of the heavy rains snake through alleyways, slowly finding their way back to the city's clogged drainage lines, as others make alternative routes to avoid the muddy alleys into the city. Commuters tolerate the water as part of their daily routine, wading through flooded roads or boarding matatus that splash through submerged streets. But this is not the first time. Last year, Mathare and Huruma bore the brunt of disaster. Families were forcefully evicted from homes deemed too close to the river. Lives were lost, livelihoods destroyed. And the government's response was swift and harsh. Mass eviction in informal settlements. Yet, in stark contrast, formal estates built on riparian land faced little consequences. The imbalance was glaring, and this year, the floods shifted their fury. Around Timol and Mombasa Road, damages were severe.
On Friday night, when Nairobi was hit by heavy floods, South C and South B areas were most affected. Residents claim the construction of the expressway that changed the course of Bellevue River is the root of their problems.
Na kabla hiyo express, hii mto imefunikiwa huko, imekorogewa, so imepita underground, haiko open, na ndio maana maji ilipita huko, ikabomoa ukuta. Sasa hiyo force ya ukuta ikasukuma maji, ikapenya kwenye ilikuwa inapita kitambo. Sasa kutoka huo wakati wa express imejengwa, ndio maji huwa inafunga barabara, drainage zimekuwa kidogo na watu ni wengi. Kama haswa South C, manyumba marefu, hizo zinabeba watu wangapi?
Spot checks revealed buildings erected directly on riparian land, narrowing rivers and suffocating drainage systems. The rivers that were denied their space reclaimed it violently. South C and South B, once spared, now find themselves submerged.
So that's where it's really a question of us having failed to adequately plan and develop the necessary infrastructure to safely carry away that surface runoff, that flood waters, into the rivers, in the streams, into the lakes, into the sea. So that failure to adequately plan and manage the surface runoff, the floods, that is when then it causes destruction.
The irony is painful. The government enforces riparian rules, selectively evicting Mathare residents last year, yet allowing developers in prime estates to build unchecked. The result is predictable. Nairobi's rivers, blocked and strangled, are fighting back. And when water fights back, it takes homes, lives, and livelihoods with it.
So the encroachment seems to be the norm rather than the exception. And that is an element of us then being poor in terms of development control, making sure that those 10 meters, riparian reserves, or 30 meters.
Nairobi's war with water is less about rain and more about regulation. Until riparian laws are enforced equally, the city will remain trapped in a cycle of destruction where rivers reclaim what was stolen and ordinary citizens pay the price.
When floods hit Nairobi County on Friday night, constructions built on riparian land stood no chance. 72 hours later, homes, businesses are still pumping water out of their basements, at least to save a few items. Vera Mora for KTN, Nairobi County.
So just who